Hello Flyers, and welcome to another episode of Flyer Nation. My name is Kaley Murray, and today I will be joined by Kaitlyn VanHekken, coach of the Lewis University stunt team, and later joined by Botka and Callie Goulette. So Kaitlyn, you're the first ever stunt coach here at Lewis. What is it like building this program from the ground up?
It's been an amazing opportunity, and it was always a dream of mine to create a program from the ground up and just kind of really give it the vision that I've always had for a program. And I look for really competitive athletes that are really passionate, and so to be able to build that from the ground up and find those athletes has been really special.
For those who may not be super familiar with stunt, how does it differ from other traditional forms of cheerleading?
Yeah, so I just say it's a really competitive version of cheerleading, essentially. It's broken up into 4 different quarters, so it's the same traditional cheerleading, movements, stunts, tumbling, and gymnastics and cheerleading that a lot of the athletes are used to, just broken up into a little bit of a different format. So it's 4 quarters, and each quarter focuses on a different element of cheerleading. So quarter 1 is partner stunts, quarter 2 is pyramids and basket tosses, quarter 3 is jumps and tumbling, and then quarter 4 is a team routine of all of them. So yeah, it just gives it a little bit more variety, and it's a head-to-head competition, which makes it really competitive.
So what drew you to stunt as a sport, and how did you get started with that?
Yeah, I have always been in competitive cheerleading and gymnastics growing up, and when I was in high school, I knew I really wanted to cheer in college. I didn't know exactly what that looked like, but I have always been a really competitive person, and so I really wanted to find a college that was best fit for my skills and what I was looking for, both academically and athletically. And so when I was a sophomore, I attended a stunt game when I was a sophomore in high school, and I remember looking over at my mom and saying this is what I wanted to do. And so yeah, I really loved it from there, and I knew graduating college that I wasn't done with stunt, I wasn't done with my cheerleading journey as a whole, and really wanted to continue in the sport.
So we know that you went to Alma College studying marketing and communications, and that you were on the stunt team. How did that experience of being on the stunt team shape you as a coach today?
It shaped everything that I do. My coach in college also built her program from the ground up, and so having her as a mentor, as somebody that kind of guides me through now what I'm doing, has been really impactful, number 1. Number 2, the culture that she had built at Alma and that I got to be a part of was something that was super special to me, and that I knew that I wanted to carry on to other opportunities that I could do as well. And like I said, I just knew that after graduating, after concluding being a cheerleader myself or being a part of a stunt team, I knew that my journey there wasn't done yet. And it really just led me to be even more passionate when I graduated than when I even started.
So we know that stunt is a women's only sport, so how does it feel coaching and empowering a group of young ladies?
It's something that I am just so thankful to be able to do, and female athletics is super important to me, and being able to build up the next generation of young female leaders is something that I just am so thankful for, honestly. And just to be able to empower young females and females in athletics is an amazing opportunity, and it feels just amazing to be able to do it, yeah.
How has the university supported your vision for this new program so far?
They have supported me every step of the way, and I remember when I was going through the interview process for this position specifically, I was talking to the athletic director and some of the other people throughout the interview process, and I really asked specifically how they would be able to support me, and that I told them this was a program that needed to be supported, and if I didn't feel that I was going to get that support, I didn't know if it would be the right position for me, and they told me I would be 100% supported here every step of the way, and I truly have. So yeah, it's been a great opportunity. I meet with our athletic director often. I also meet with Laura Lee, the women's volleyball coach, and she's been super helpful to me as well, just kind of walking me through what it looks like to be, a female head coach here at Lewis. And so the support has been outstanding, and I know as we go to host home competitions in the next couple of years, everyone's really excited to come watch, and they want to stop by practice and come watch us. So it's been great.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Well, thank you, Coach, and we'll be back for more after this short break.
For over 50 years, WLRA has been on air showcasing countless students. As the first all-digital college radio station, Lewis University students are given access to industry-leading equipment. Equipment that commercial stations utilize, equipment that creates, and equipment that brings radio to life.
I like WLRA because it gives me the opportunity to get experience with news broadcasting and working with radio.
Stop by De La Salle 210 or at WLRA Radio to get started on your radio career.
Welcome back to Flyer Nation. I'm still joined with Coach Kaitlyn VanHekken of the Lewis University Stunt Team. So you said that a competition is broken up into 4 quarters. Do you approach each quarter the same, or is there one in particular that your team finds the most challenging?
I don't know if we find one most challenging, but I think the group of athletes that I had this past year really loved the jump and tumble section quarter of competition, and so we put a lot of focus into that at practice because we knew that that was an area that we could really excel this past year. And so it was really fun seeing them kind of, their joy for jumps and tumbling and being able to kind of focus on that a lot at practice.
And why do you think that stunt is growing so quickly as a competitive sport?
I think that, a lot of cheerleaders, even when I was a cheerleader, both in high school and college, I didn't, you don't get the same level of respect and the same, opportunities that a lot of athletes do have. You train the same, you work just as hard as, any other team on campus, but you don't get that ultimate recognition of being an NCAA athlete as being an athlete on campus, recognized the same way as maybe the basketball team or volleyball team or whatever that might look like in college. And so I think, stunt as a whole, giving this opportunity to cheerleaders to be an NCAA athlete, I think that is really why it's growing so much.
And what do you look for in a student athlete when recruiting for stunt?
Yeah, I look, you always look at skill and kind of what positions they can fill on your team. But to me, I really look at how competitive they are and how well they're going to fit in, not only with the team, but at Lewis. Do I think that they would really enjoy campus every day? Do I think that they would fit in well with their classes? Do I think that they would fit in well with our team? Our team is really close. They do almost everything together, I would say. They love being together and spending time together. They travel well together. And so I really look at the personality. Is this somebody that could fit in on the team? Is this somebody that's going to uplift our culture? Is this somebody that's going to be a positive force every day at practice? Skill obviously comes into play, but those are other things that I really look at.
What are some of your short-term and long-term goals for stunt here at Lewis?
Yeah, short term, we're really looking in the next couple of years to build the program. So our first year as a program, we had 10 athletes on the team, which was amazing as a first year program. But our second and third year, I'm really hoping to grow it to around 30 to 35 athletes in the next few years. So that's, a short-term goal of mine. Long-term goal, we're really hoping to qualify for nationals in the next couple of years as well, and ultimately would love to win a national championship eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. Were there any standout moments in your career as a coach or as an athlete that really shaped who you are today?
I think my senior year as an athlete was kind of our COVID year, so it was 2021 is when I graduated, and so it was right after the pandemic. We weren't sure the opportunities that we would get to be able to compete that year because everything was so new in the world, and we did have the opportunity to compete at nationals, and my team ended up winning stunt nationals that year. And being able to work so hard and really not know what you're going to get out of the season and be working towards a goal you didn't even know might not even be there was something that I pushed myself for, personally a lot, and we pushed as a team. And so I think that really taught me hard work. It really taught me a lot of lessons that are outside of just winning. And so that year really shaped who I was as an athlete and as a person, and is one of the reasons that I wanted to go into coaching.
And then what is one message that you want to leave with viewers, especially young athletes who might be curious about the stunt team but have never done it before?
Yeah, I think, my biggest message is that there's a spot for you on this team if you have a cheer background. Something really unique about stunt is that you don't need to necessarily be that all-around athlete. If there's one place that you really excel in, specifically if you really excel in stunting, but maybe you're not as strong of a tumbler or vice versa, you have a gymnastics background but you've never stunted before, this is a place that you can really grow, be competitive, and be a part of a really successful team.
Well, thank you, Coach VanHekken, for joining us. And after this short break, we'll be joined by students Botka and Callie Goulette.
The Race Strong Foundation was created about 4 years ago. It came after, as a couple, we had our first child. She was born at 24 weeks. She weighed 1 pound, 12 ounces. Then she proceeded to spend another 4 months in the NICU. That was the time that she should have been growing in the womb. During the 4 months, we visited her daily, and we got to sit down with the doctors and the nurses, and the amount of medical knowledge and what they can do to make sure that your child survives is amazing. And just the experience, it was nothing we could have ever been prepared for. So emotionally, we became very tied to the micro-preemie world. And that was when we decided to create a foundation with the goal of trying to give thanks back to the NICUs, the nurses, and then also provide any sort of emotional or financial help to other families that might experience what we went through.
We've had the opportunity to host over 40 events, celebrating micro-preemies, fundraising, and bringing awareness to micro-preemies and their families. When you get a chance, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, or our website at raystrong.org. Donate, and thanks again for all the support.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Flyer Nation. Today, I'm joined by Botka and Callie Goulette from the Lewis University Women's Stunt Team. Ladies, thank you for joining us today. Of course, thank you. So, when did you guys start doing stunt, and what kind of cheerleading did you do before you came to Lewis?
So before I came to Lewis, I did gymnastics actually. So I did that all the way through my senior year. And then my freshman year, I didn't really do anything, was just trying to kind of figure out the school setting. And then sophomore year, I started cheer, and I cheered on the competition team here at Lewis. And then I heard about stunt over the summer and decided that that would be a really good fit for me, coming from like competitive gymnastics background, and stunt being more competitive. I did that my junior year.
I started with gymnastics, and then I switched over to cheer about middle school, high school. I went to another university prior, like my freshman year, for cheer, and then I transferred to Lewis this year, my sophomore year, for stunt.
So this is our first year of having stunt at Lewis. So how does it feel to be a part of the inaugural team?
It's honestly, I think it's really cool just to be able to say I was on team 1 for stunt, and being on a team, such a small team, it's honestly just awesome how well we did, and yeah, it feels great.
It's definitely a surreal experience being able to lay the platform down for future teams to come. So it's been very exciting.
What makes stunt different from other forms of cheer, gymnastics, and is it more challenging in certain ways?
I think it's definitely more challenging in like different aspects, because I think cheer is more about performance and like something that I wasn't quite used to, because I came from gymnastics, which was more competitive, more about like scoring wise, and I think stunt really like captures that aspect. So it's obviously, like Kaitlyn said, it's super competitive, and that's the part that I really like about it.
Yes, I like to say it's a little sprinkle of everything. I come from Michigan cheer, so it's a lot like the stunt style. So it's kind of like the best of all of the cheer gymnastics worlds.
Yeah. So what is the team dynamic like, especially since the whole team is just starting off as first years on the team?
I think we're all super close just because there was only 10 of us. We got the opportunity to be like one big family, which was really great, and especially as a first-year team. Like, we all support each other. We were all there for each other whenever we needed it, whether it be in stunt or in school or outside of school. So that was really great.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with Gray. I mean, it was really cool being able to be on that, first team, first program. So I think that kind of bonded us in itself.
Out of the 4 quarters in a competition, is there any quarter that you specifically like the best or find the most tricky?
We might be a little biased on this one.
I love the jumps and tumble quarter just because coming from gymnastics, like that's really what I've been doing my whole life. So that's super awesome. I love it, actually. So.
Yeah, I'm with Gray. I also really love the jump and tumble quarter, as Kaitlyn also mentioned. I think partner stunts would be a close second, which is our first quarter, and it's just basically stunting. So.
Yeah, so then what's the most challenging or least favorite?
I think most challenging is probably the team routine, so it's kind of like all the routines put into one, so it's just more about endurance, and also I would say pyramids and tosses might be the hardest quarters, so also having that in there definitely makes it hard.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd have to agree. Routine or quarter 4 is probably one of the harder quarters, just because you have to kind of get through every single thing that you already went through throughout the games. So it's like the end and kind of pushing through.
What is it like to be involved in a female-only sport?
I think it's very empowering. I think it's really awesome to be able to kind of, you know, guys have their own sports like football and all that kind of stuff, but it's really cool to be able to say, like, this is us, just only girls, just empowering females, everyone kind of empowering each other. So
Yeah, I would say the same thing. It's just great to like have women have this sport to them and be able to, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and do you guys have any personal goals that you'd like to fulfill, like, in this next season?
I really think making it or qualifying for nationals, because that's going to be here in Chicago, so I think that would be a really awesome experience for Lewis and for all our families if they would be able to go. That would be great too, so it being in Chicago really helps.
absolutely, I'd have to agree. Being able to represent Lewis would be a great opportunity for nationals.
What would you tell another student who's looking at Lewis potentially to come here for stunt?
I would tell them that I guess when you're at Lewis, you really do have like all the support you need, whether that be from like the team, Kaitlyn, or like advisors. Like there really is a lot of support and a lot of resources here that really help you through being a student athlete, because that is such a challenging thing.
Absolutely, I think Gray said it perfectly, but I think specifically for our stunt team, there's pretty much, as long as you have like a cheer or gymnastics, some sort of background, there's definitely a place for everyone and for everyone to be able to improve. So.
Thank you, ladies, for joining us today, and also special thanks to Kaitlyn VanHekken from the Lewis University Stunt Team. For more episodes of Flyer Nation, tune into the Lewis University Television Network. Thank you.